Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Seth Meyers, clinical psychologist, and today's video is going to focus on someone that people call a control freak that you may have in your life. And this is going to be a part of a series that I do on this personality type, this highly controlling individual. Now, where can these individuals be found? You know exactly where they can be found. You can find them at work. Often it may be a boss of yours. You can also find them in your personal life. It could be a family member. It could be someone you live with. It could be a romantic partner. I'm going to talk about some of the very basic behaviors that the controlling person engages in on a regular basis. If you were to, for example, follow them for a day on camera and see the kinds of things they do, see the kinds of things they say, these are some of the things that you would find. Just a quick note, by the way, if you find this video helpful, please like this video. That way it gives me a sense of what you find helpful. All right, so let's dive in. First of all, we always want to start with what is the experience like of having some type of close proximity relationship with a controlling person. We are talking about an experience, having proximity, regular contact with someone who is controlling. We are talking about an experience that can make people feel like they are going bananas. We are talking Gwen Stefani bananas. We are talking about Gwen Stefani spelling bananas out. That kind of bananas. That's how people can feel when they spend too much time or feel too interdependent with someone who is really, really controlling. They feel like they want to crawl out of their own skin. They want to escape the situation. They want to get as far away from that individual as possible. It's a really frustrating experience. And there's often not a lot that you can do to change that personality. What you do need to do is try to figure out how you can have a little bit more distance and how you can keep your own mood regulated so they don't really just push you over the edge where you lose your mood and your mood is hijacked for, the day. The first behavior we are going to talk about with someone who is highly controlling is one behavior they will regularly do is correcting people when they are wrong. Does the controlling person love to correct people? It's not necessarily so much that the controlling person loves it or even gets gratification from correcting someone else and letting someone else know the ways that they are wrong. It's like a compulsion. They can't help themselves. They often feel like themselves, they can't stop themselves from correcting another person. It is something that they feel they must do. They cannot sit with the fact that some error goes uncorrected and is just sitting out there in the ether, wrong as it is. Some examples of things that they may correct are correcting someone's pronunciation of certain words or correcting someone's spelling. They may have to correct someone's details of how they remembered a particular situation and remind them of exactly what happened, exactly the specific details. They correct bad manners. They correct people for doing something wrong or what they feel is inappropriate. They are sort of the wrong and right police, so to speak. They will often correct someone for being irrational. They will also often correct someone's feelings that they seem to be feeling. They will correct and let them know that, they're angry when they shouldn't be. They are sad when they shouldn't be. They're overthinking something when they shouldn't be. They will even correct another's thoughts or feelings. For the highly controlling person, this is a tightly organized and controlled mental world they live in. Wow, how much energy it must take to be that kind of a person. Another behavior that highly controlling people engage in is always trying to win an argument or have the last word. High control men and women are difficult to have relationships with, whether they are personal or professional relationships, because highly controlling people, what do they like to do with the rules? They like to set the rules. They like to set the rules and then they like to enforce them. They act superior to others often, and they like to let everyone know that they are the most logical, practical, and intelligent people in the room. They think to themselves, if only other people could think like I do, the world would run so much more smoothly. And of course, everyone else close to them and around them is thinking, where's Gwen Stefani now to remind me what this experience is like? Another behavior that highly controlling people engage in is to avoid ever admitting that they are wrong. Whatever they do, whatever they say, the last thing in the world they ever want to do is admit that they may have been wrong about something. And it could be the smallest possible thing. Average person is thinking to themselves, how could anyone even care about such a thing? But you must understand, with the highly controlling person, they are always focused on having everything under control, all gaps closed, all questions answered, all opinions clear and strong. This is the way that the highly controlling person thinks. And most people just simply can't relate to spending so much energy focused on such details. Another behavior that highly controlling people engage in is judging or criticizing others. So, highly controlling people are highly principled people. Highly principled people. These individuals have opinions on everything, everything. Things that you can't even possibly imagine having an opinion on. We're talking about talking as if you are an expert at times or sharing opinions on topics you may have had no actual experience with. But, well, the highly controlling person will quickly organize a thought, a position, an argument, and they will double down on it as if they've spent years in this field or thinking about this topic or developing expertise in this area. Because these individuals often have an opinion on everything and act superior to others as if they've got everything always figured out, the people around them often find the controlling individual to be really hypocritical, sanctimonious, and all around unfair. Unfair, especially in the way the highly controlling person sees themselves. An additional behavior that highly controlling people engage in comes to driving. And you probably know what I'm going to say when I talk about road rage, driving with rage. Take a highly controlling person, put them behind the wheel of a car, and they always are going to believe that they are the best driver and know how to drive the most expertly and efficiently, more so than anyone else on the road. And when someone else drives in a way that they don't approve of, that is the wrong way to drive, they become often hell bent on proving to the other person how wrong they were. They may cut them off. They may make nasty faces. They may lower the window and start yelling at someone. This is someone who even wants control over how others on the road drive. You can imagine, again, just how much energy is spent trying to control things in the daily life of the highly controlling person when they even want to control people who are on the road with them. And finally, the last behavior I'm going to talk about today that you will commonly see highly controlling people engage in on a daily basis comes to scheduling. Scheduling anything. It could be a get together, it could be a vacation, it could be a meeting, it could be a dinner. It could be anything. The highly controlling person wants to have say and often be the last word on where they go, when they go, exactly what they do. They want to be the shot caller when it comes to schedules. They always need to feel like they have the most important opinion, and really often that what they say when it comes to schedules goes. Now, for a while, some people can excuse this kind of behavior when they're around the individual, but a lot of times this behavior starts to wear on those around them after a while, and resentment starts to breed. The resentment can start to accumulate that they feel like the other person doesn't really have a lot of say over what happens, where they go, what they do. Resentment grows and grows. A lot of times, the highly controlling person is so focused on getting what they want when they make plans that they often need to have closest to them people who will just really kind of go along with what they want, who will let them choose where they go, what they do, who will always sort of be the decider for how they spend their time, the kinds of places, restaurants they go to, the kinds of vacation places they go to. And you know what? For some people, that works. Some people may be totally fine letting the other person decide those kinds of things in a relationship. But the truth is, a lot of times, there are people who go along with this, with the highly controlling person, but the resentment, little by little, starts creeping in because deep down, a lot of people, I think it's really natural for most people to want to have say, for there to be a decision making process when things get decided. Now, the magic question. I think some people, I've heard people, I don't know, someone listening to this may know the answer to this. The $64,000 question that some people used to talk about. Apparently, there was some show in the past where it was maybe called the $64,000 question, and it was the big question everyone wanted the answer to. So I don't know, maybe somebody giving some feedback on this video can let us know how old the average person would have to be to have watched whatever show that was. But anyhow, I'm going to quote it, even though I'm a little younger, I believe, than that. But the magic question is, why do highly controlling people do it? Why are highly controlling people highly controlling? They're controlling because they have told themselves that they need to be this way to get their goals accomplished and to get their needs met. And one of those primary needs that the highly controlling person has is they tell themselves that there is an order that is needed in the world and in the world that they live in today. And if there is anyone who is going to have more say, more decision making power in how things go in that order, it's going to be them. It's going to be the highly controlling person. That's what they have told themselves, that this degree of order is needed for them to feel safe and secure in the world. Although it often drives people around them to mental places where they feel frustrated, resentful, and really can often lead to the detriment of a relationship. So, I hope this video has been helpful. Again, if it has, take some time and reflect on some of these points. It's often helpful even for people to journal or write down some thoughts after, they've heard something that maybe kind of gets their mind flowing. If it's been helpful, please like this video. I wish you all the best in dealing with this kind of personality.